Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Auric Priestess here. And I know it's been like a month since I've actually recorded a video specifically for the channel. I did download a couple of videos, I think of 4, 5, 3, something like that. That was more of my birthday was last month. And I was just so surprised because in the last year, I have opened up my own private practice. Sorry, I'm just waking up here. Not waking up, but getting my morning going. Just dropped off my son at school at 7:30. Got back here and paid some bills and answered some correspondences because I took off Sunday because it was Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, aunties, godmothers, things like that. Expected moms. But yeah, so I took off yesterday. I finished up my readings early Saturday so I can get the house cleaned and stuff like that. Because not only was it Mother's Day yesterday, my youngest son, not my youngest child, I have a younger daughter, but my second youngest, he turned 12 yesterday. He was born 12 years ago on Mother's Day. So was very excited about that. So my ex-husband, since it was his birthday too, was taking him out. And since we always want to spend holidays with the children, even though, yes, we are divorced, we still spend Christmases, New Year's, and things like that so the kids don't have to choose which parent to go to. I know that's not ideal, and I know everybody's situation is different, but that's what works for us. And so we went out to we were trying to find places to eat, but everything was so like crowded, even though it was early in the day. We ended up going to Friendlies, so we went to Friendlies. Then we came back here and cut his Pokemon happy birthday cake, and it was a good time. It was a good time. And I thought I was gonna pay for my own food. He is my ex-husband and everything, but he treated all of us, so I'm not gonna be complaining. So I was like, okay, since I have put money on the side to treat myself to dinner, I went to Barnes and Nobles yesterday, and I got me a couple of books that I'm gonna be working on for the month of May. And I interpret dreams. I'm very good at interpreting dreams, but I'm also humble enough to know there's always something to learn. And sometimes even I get stumped on dreams because I do keep a dream journal. I've talked about that. Um, but like sometimes I get stumped on dreams too. Like I'm like, oh, I don't know what that specific dream means or whatever the case may be. So I bought this a new edition for the 21st century, 12,000 Dreams Interpreted by Gustavus Hinman Miller, revised and updated by Linda Shields and Lenore Scammell. And it's like a like keywords. You will look them up and it will give you interpretation and things like that. So I looked through it. It's pretty good. Um and I look forward to working with that. And I got that at Barnes and Nobles. I think the price of it was, what is the pricing of it? It was only $12.95, so it was not bad. Then I treated myself to this book. Everybody and their grandma, every time I watch witchy channels, seems to have this book. I have other herbal books, like I love the Llewellyn Correspondence book. I have some Wicca books on herbs. I have some hoodoo books on herbs, but you can never have too many books on herbs because some of those books are missing certain herbs that I work with. And sometimes some books have herbs that I can never find. Like, not every herb is easy to find, right? So I started off, when I started working with herbs, I started off with 13, and I've been expanding my herbs, but all of my herbs get used. I'm really into root work. I love essential oils, but there's nothing like using herbs. Like, I love herbs. So I got this one, and no, I'm not a Wiccan, but it has a lot of good information on here. Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham, expanded and revised edition. And this one's good as well too. It'll tell you like the correspondences and different things you can use the herbs for. So I'm going to be looking at this book this month too as well. More as a there's two or more reference books. I'm not gonna like read them, but I did go through the book yesterday in with my collection, and I got to learn some even new ways of using a lot of the herbs that I have. So I was very excited about that. It seems to be a very good book, good reference book. It doesn't have all the herbs, but the ones that don't have on here, the one has, and then my other Hoodoo Magical Herbs book, that one has too. So between those three is a pretty good basis. Also, what I was working on April, okay, was I watched a video on Det Chiki's channel, and she was talking about how like you can pass on, like some people pass on a recipe book, like you can do that with your craft and stuff like that. And I don't have very fancy journals. I buy regular hardcover books and I journal in there. I write, I have books of shadows. I have a grimoire. I have, all those things and different types of journals and stuff like that that I use in my practice. And no, I do not write on them every day, just as needed and when I'm led to. And I have a video on that on this channel about journaling. So if you want to have more details about that. But it inspired me to also create, because I know my daughter, yes, I'm going to pass those down to her, but she has a short attention span, okay? As do my children, most of my children. And so I wanted to get a condensed version of more or less those things in one book, and then she can further look deeper into other things. But I wanted to put it in one book. Still going to use the other books, but like, what is the most important things that I want to pass on to my daughter about myself and my practice and things like that? Because I'm very into tradition. I do follow a tradition. I can date it back to 1850, my tradition that I follow, all the way up to the mid 1800s. So I want to pass that on to my daughter. I feel like if I don't, like it will die with me. Whether she infuses new things to it, because of course, no matter how traditional a practice is, we're going to incorporate our own things into it. Everybody's going to add something to it, right? And that's very enriching and that's very beautiful, right? So I got just a plain notebook at Walmart because she picked out the cover. She likes it. And this I'm specifically making for her. And there's dividers on there. Like I'm already writing on it, but I haven't finished it. So it's going to have a table of contents. And when she wants to look up certain things, so in other words, like she wants to look up certain herbs to use for something, right? The main herbs that I use, she'll go through H and then look there, or whatever topic is under like that alphabet. Orishas O, Loas L, angels that I work with A, like, so that's what I've been doing. I've been actually writing on this. And when I have downtime, like I'm transferring information from other sources, my other books and stuff, into here or whatever I'm reading at the time and things like that. Because I'm always constantly reading a book. It takes me longer than most because I still have a child that's not in school yet. She will be going to kindergarten next year. So that's going to open up my time. And if I'm not with her, like doing stuff with her, I'm also doing readings because I do have clients from other parts of the world that they have to read with me in the morning and I have to find a way to schedule around that and things like that. So, but yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I was inspired by Det Chiki. Thank you so much for inspiring me to actually use a binder, which I had another one that was a binder and I was using it as more of like first copy and then recopy it somewhere else. But I actually want to use this binder specifically for giving it to my daughter. Like it really inspired me to really pick up my journaling and putting recipes down and things like that. To the point that I shared it with my mom, which she does, and she's making a book for us too now. So she's gonna pass it on to me, like I inspired her. She's very excited that somebody wants to follow in her footsteps. So yay. Um, yeah, so and like I said, the only videos I made this month were of the ones that I was showing like gifts that I was getting and stuff like that for my birthday, which I was shocked about. People were asking me like, hey, da, 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 da. can I have your address and stuff like that? And I'm like, okay, because I've known these clients for years. And like my birthday, like 5 different deliveries came, chocolates and balloons, and those videos are on there. They're really short, but I sound kind of crazy. Maybe I'm obnoxious when I'm singing like happy birthday to myself, but I was like so excited because this year was going to be a rough birthday for like a lot of personal reasons. And just knowing that there's people out there in the world that appreciate me and all the um I love you, happy birthday messages, phone calls, like it just made me feel special. The delivery guy was joking around, like, what are you, like a celebrity around here or something? I came like 5 different times. But it was awesome. It was awesome. So my birthday was awesome. I bought some things for myself. Mother's Day this year was amazing. Last year was not amazing. It was a very I was crying. Well, Mother's Day last year was not good. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But this year was good. It was amazing. So I was happy about that. I did a couple of shopping stuff last month too, but I wasn't really posting videos. But most of that was just a couple of pieces of crystals that I got and that I've been working with. I did load um I did load last month crystal thing that I bought online and a couple of things, but these are actually got from a metaphysical store and I love them and I want to share them with you. One of the crystals I can't show you because it's actually in a working, so I can't share those. My daughter bought me 3 crystals for my birthday. She bought me a leopard skin crystal, but I have that in a working that I'm doing right now. So, but this is a rainforest one that she bought me for my birthday, and I've been using it. It's on my work altar. This is not my working altar. This is my work altar, specifically what I face when I do videos and readings and things like that. Not when I do healings, that goes into my spirit room or my ancestor altar. And then this lava crystal she got me, and I love it. She took her little allowance and money that she had earned um, from doing like a reading for a friend that decided to donate some money for her. She's a wonderful reader, and just doing little things in there. So she got me crystals. Then in that same shop, I got a beautiful piece of tourmaline. My other tourmaline that I had like a tower. One of my spirits likes that one, so it took it. So I got this one now because my spirits and my girls do take crystals from time to time. So I love this piece. It is very protective. And I love tourmaline. So, and I've never had a natural piece of it, so very excited with that. And yeah, it was a little pricey, but I could never find a good piece of tourmaline online. So, and then I've this crystal I never heard of, but it would call to me. I touched it. It vibrated. As much as I love buying crystals online, I love going to a shop. I can't always afford to do that. They can be kind of pricey, but I do love like touching it and just feeling the vibrations and like this is my crystal. So I've been worked a lot with, and still working a lot with this piece of orchid calcite for self-esteem. Really good for the sacral chakra and just dealing with, I don't say negative emotions because I don't believe in that, but dealing with some really powerful emotions, put it that way. So it's been really good. And when I touch this crystal, I can feel this crystal. Like I'm just so connected with it. Worked a lot with blue calcite this month as well. It's been a very calcite month. Of April was very, and I also worked in the month of April with red calcite. I have a lot of pieces of these, but I wanted to take one out to show you. I use these a lot for workings as well. And my piece of honey calcite, again, I have a lot of pieces of this too, but this is one of my favorite pieces. Just loving it. I also worked with That's really, oh, I was gonna show you my orange calcite, but that one's in a working as well. Mm. So definitely know that I worked with that because I only have one piece of orange calcite. So these I have other pieces of this I could show you more or less. Hey, I worked with this and this. And this orange selenite heart I've been working with. Working a lot with citrine last month and this month so far. And then this one's for this month. I'm going to be working with the month of May. So it's like an honorable mention. I have a lot of pieces of these. I love tumble stones, okay? They're good for grids. And just when I want to hold crystals in my hand. And this is a snowflake obsidian, and I've been working with this one to balance my feminine and masculine, my light and shadow side. So I'm going to be working with that because that is something that I will be working on this month. I even drew a card because I draw cards in the morning. And I drew this card, which is all about balancing the male and female aspects of oneself, and which goes well with why I'm going to be working with Snowflake Obsidian today. So I do crystal therapy and I base it on readings that I give myself. So this is why this one got pulled and it was blessed and is charged and ready to work with me throughout the day. Um, yeah, so now as far as decks this month that I've worked with for myself. I work with 5 specific working decks. I never show them anymore because they're usually the same 5 decks. And those are for my clients. Those are for readings that I do for clients and things like that. And they're usually the same 5. When I do client readings, I don't mix oracles. I don't do spreads and things like that. I just, shuffle the cards and boom, 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 the reading starts, and we just get going. My readings are fortune telling. There is mentoring in my readings. I do predictions, time frames. I channel the thoughts of others. I tell you what other people's intentions are, things like that. I am a spiritual healer, so I do root work, chakra clearing and balancing, past life clearing and balancing, and things like that. I also mentor people if they have certain spirit guides from a tradition that they're unfamiliar with, and it's something that I am familiar with. I will help that person, like African spirituality. I do practice some. I do work with some Hindu spirits that I have been trained to work with because I wanted to be very respectful of that tradition. I work with saints, I work with angels, I work with ancestors, I work with loas, I work with orishas. So I work with a lot of different energies. So that is something I also do as well. Um, and all readings are live via Skype and could be booked through my website, shamanicarawakpriestess.com. So that's what I do. I did work for 3.5 years on a psychic hotline. I haven't been on in 5 months, mostly because like my practice has been growing and I've been investing that time into um, bringing in new clientele and working with existing clients and going out there, and also because the healing practice in my path has grown and I've been traveling for work and people have been paying for me to go see them. For example, I have someone that's very close to me, very wonderful soul, not going to say who she is, but I'm going to be going to bless her child that's going to be born. I have people that want me, I have a new home, so I'm going to pay for you to bless my home. Or I want to do, instead of a Skype healing, I want to actually do a hands-on healing. And I'm open to that and I will schedule around that, usually on the weekends or something like that. Um, but yeah, that's another reason why it's been hard for me to make videos lately. I've missed you guys so much. I have so many videos on channels that I love that I have to catch up on, and I'm going to try to do that to the best of my abilities. I've also been studying and reading a lot, so things of that nature. But I have missed you guys so much. And don't ever think that the channel doesn't mean anything to me, because it does. I'm very humbled by the fact that there's over 300 subscribers now, from a very small channel that I first started. So I so appreciate you guys. I so love you guys. And I'm so very grateful that you watch my videos and take the time to comment on my things. So I really, really do appreciate you guys, and I want you guys to know that. But the tarot decks that I worked with in the month of April has been the Druid Craft. I never trimmed mine, and I love the guidebook that comes with it. I love the Druid Craft. It's one of my newest purchases, but I love reading with it. I don't see myself trimming it in the future. I don't know what it is. Like, I just don't know why I don't trim certain decks, but borders don't bother me. The size of the cards don't bother me. I don't read with these professionally, so I can take my time shuffling with them. So I can see, like, if you actually read with them professionally, I would actually trim them. I don't blame the people for doing that. But because I only read with them for myself, for a daily draw and things like that, because I do rotate my decks monthly and things like that. Every 2 weeks I try to work with a different tarot deck. I don't really see myself having to trim these for right now, but they're a very, very beautiful deck, and I love it, and I get really great messages from it. With this deck, it's not a gentle deck for me. It's very masculine feeling, and I get very blunt messages that sometimes they're hard to hear, but it's like, this deck is like that friend that's like, let me tell you something. This is how it is. Sorry you don't like it. Oh, well, you know, and I like that deck for that. So the next deck is the Wildwood Tarot that I worked with in the month of April, and I love this deck as well. This deck is very spiritual for me, so very high vibrations, and like I had said in a previous video, I bought this one from Barnes and Nobles, because usually my decks I order them online, and because my Barnes and Nobles actually sell decks and voodoo books, hoodoo books, conjuring books, witchcraft, demonology. Like, we have a good thing there. So and even though I order a lot of my books online, it's nice to actually look through a book before you buy it, right? But this deck gives me very beautiful spiritual readings. I love it. I only use it on myself, and I don't use it all the time. But when I do use it, it just speaks to my soul. So I have a very soul, I love this card, soul connection to this deck. So I love it very, very much. And then, hey, Moo, I love you, baby. And then the other deck that I use this month, actually, this deck I used for 3 months in a row. About 2 or 3 months, it was on my altar, and I use this for reading. Like, these are more for daily draws, things like that. But this I use whenever I needed to do divination for myself and fortune tell for myself. This is the deck that I was using, and it's the Shadowscapes. I don't have the big one. I was tempted to buy it yesterday, and I was like, because I kind of want the guidebook, but I don't know. So maybe somebody out there has a extra copy, because maybe they bought a backup copy of the Shadowscape and actually have the guidebook. I will be willing to trade some decks that I don't use anymore for a said guidebook. If you have an extra guidebook out there, but I don't see myself buying a new pack because these don't even have any chips in them. So I don't want to buy a backup copy right now. But anyways, I love this deck. It gives me beautiful messages. I would like the guidebook so I could know more details about the symbology, because there's a lot of symbology. But this is a hit with me too. I love reading myself with this deck. And it's just beautiful. I don't think the camera does this deck justice. The art work in this is beautiful. I can see why Truth and Story, it was one of the very first decks that she used besides the Llewellyn Tarot deck. I don't know the actual proper name of that one. I don't have that deck, by the way. I know a lot of people do. I try to keep my collection, like I have 20 something tarot decks. I try to keep the numbers down for personal reasons, and stuff like that. But I love watching people's big collections. Okay. And then this one is the Akashe Records Tarot. Is that what it is? Yeah, Akashe Records Tarot deck. And I use this deck towards the ending of April into the beginning of May. And I like this deck as well. It's different. It's not your traditional tarot, so there's not 78 cards, and the minors go only up to the number 8 and things of that nature. It doesn't start at 0. It actually starts at, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it starts at 1 instead of 0. So it's a bit different. This is more oracle-y than tarot, but I do love reading with it. I like the guidebook, and very nurturing, but can be blunt. I know this is not everybody's art style. I love this deck. I've been wanting it for a while. It was on my Amazon cart for like months, because I'm really trying to be careful. Because to me, like, there's nothing worse than buying a deck and you don't bond with it, and that's happened to me a couple of times. So I try to buy decks more that I'm intuitively drawn to, kind of thing, because I'm not really a collector. So like, if you're collecting, that's okay, but and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not a collector. Like, I'm just honestly not a collector. So I rather buy herbs, to be on my thing to buy. I do witchcraft on like a daily basis for myself and for others. And so my things that I like to buy, like, I rather buy candles. I rather buy herbs. I rather buy oils to make oils with, things like that. Essential oils and, magical things. So that that's my favorite thing to do. So I think we all have like our things. That is my favorite thing. And books. Books. I love books. I have a lot of books. This deck, I worked with this oracle deck, the Enchanted Map Oracle, for myself. Because I usually pull one tarot card a day and a oracle card. Like today's oracle card for me today is friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. And so that's an energy I'm working with today. So I do that, and it's usually on my altar on a stand. So I worked with this deck last month, and this is one of my favorite oracle decks. Like, I love it so much. In the beginning, it took me a while to bond with it for some reason, but I love it. I don't like Colette Baron-Reid's tarot deck at all. Like, I tried and tried and tried. For some reason, I'm not drawn to it. But I do have 2 of her oracle decks that I adore, and this is one of them. I adore it. Just adore it. Okay. So that's one. And then the next one. Oh my god, I love this deck too. I have the book. You don't need the book to work with this deck, but I love it anyways. Earth Magic. I love this deck. I love his book. Found so many things in my culture that I relate to, and especially the rainbow serpent. That's very significant for me. The serpent, and I just have a serpent here. The serpent's very important in my practice. Just put it that way. So I love Gaia. I love the Green Man. For many years, I served them as well. Not so strongly anymore, and that happens sometimes with spirits. Sometimes they'll come in strong and they leave us, and then other spirits come. And so my practice has changed over the years. It's always evolving and ever flowing, but I will always have a special place. Oh, what's on that? Yeah, you can, baby. But yes, so this deck, oh, I love him so much. This deck has been really beautiful, and as I said in other previous videos, I dreamt of one of the cards in this deck. Like literally did. And when I saw it, like I was crying because I'm like, I was guided to buy this card. And it's this one. Never heard of this deck before, but I dreamt of this image in an actual dream. So, and if I dream of a deck or a card in the deck, it's a soul deck, right? So I love this deck. Okay, and then the Messenger Oracle is another deck that I worked with the month of April, not this month because we haven't done that. Hey, beautiful. I love this deck as well. This one I get a lot of shadow cards. So a lot of shadow work is done with this one. And I love this deck. I love the Gaia Tarot deck, which I just showed you a card from it. It's the deck that I'm working with this month for personal practice. I love Raven Feeling. Okay, so love that. Love her Gaia Tarot deck. It's like one of my favorite decks, and that deck I dreamt of when I first got it. It was like, what? A shadow person came in. He was like in a robe, and some other stuff happened in the dream, but like I've always had a connection. That deck, when I first got it, worked with it exclusively, never changing it out for myself, never read anybody else with it, been selfish with the deck since I got it for 3 months. It helped me in a very dark period in my life. I did a lot of journaling. That's when I started journaling. My readings was inspired by the Gaia Tarot deck. So the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, the Dreams of Gaia Tarot deck really did change up my practice a lot. So, and then the last Oracle deck I worked with, Wisdom of the Oracle, also by Colette Reed. I love this deck. This one came damaged, but I never returned it. I kind of just took it with the damage. Like I think a couple of cards are damaged on it. It's fine. If it was like really badly damaged, because I've done that before, I would return it, but I didn't want to go through the hassle of that. Like this card has like a weird thing on it. Maybe you can see it on the camera, but it's fine. No, I did that one already. I'm pretty much getting ready to go. So yeah, so I worked with this deck in the month of April as well. And that was pretty much it that I was doing in April. I have expanded to making gris bags for clients. I have expanded to distributing oils now for clients after a paid healing and if it's needed. So I have been expanding my practice in that sense. So very excited about that. And it has just been a blessing last month. And I'm hoping to make more videos. Come on. More videos. I'm looking to make more videos in the month of May. So I'm going to let you guys go because when I first started this video, she was sleeping. And obviously she woke up. And I have to be a good mom now and attend to my little sweetheart. And much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am going to be making a video that I wanted to make in the last month. And it's just been so crazy busy. And I promise I'm going to catch up with my favorite channels and all these people. I'm going to be watching your videos, guys. I want to make a video about when someone needs a ritual and how to know when you need one and things of that nature. I've been gathering up notes and things like that. So I just want to do them justice. And another video I want to make too, that I responded to one of my beautiful subscribers, but I was like, I think I need to elaborate more. And I don't want to take up the whole comment section. And she's like, you could do that. And I was like, I could, but it will be easier if I just make a video. So, and it's going to be when to know that a spirit, a deity, or some kind of energy is trying to reach out to you and they want you to serve them and things of that nature and work alongside them. So I will be elaborating more on that as well. And I'm always open to suggestions about video ideas, okay? Because I do love to teach things. I do love to share things on this channel as well. All right. Bye. Say bye, Mama. Say bye-bye.
Bye bye.
See you later, guys.
See you later.